Hi guys, and welcome to the first episode of Alan Does Everything.
For today's video, I'm going to show you how to turn this into this. This is one of my favorite wood creations I've made. It's a wooden sword. It's about as tall as it's about up to my waist. So here, I'm going to show you how to make it. The first step is to find a stick that is whatever length you want your sword to be. So mine is about the same size as my other one, up to my waist. And then you want to cut off any of these little things that are jutting out. So it's a little above my waist. So I'm thinking I'm just going to cut off this whole part with this saw. So here we go. So you also want your stick to be pretty straight and smooth so that it's easier to work. Alright, so there I have it. And it's time for the next step. So for the next step, you're going to first need to decide which side you want to be your handle and which side you want to be your blade. So I'm thinking that this side's going to be my handle, and so I'm going to make sure I remember that by putting a little thing in it. So you decide about how long you want it. So it should be just about as long as your hand. So mine will be a little longer than your hand. So like right here. I made a little dent in it, and so that's where I know I want my handle to end. And then you can start on the next step. So for the next step, you're gonna need a hatchet and your stick. So I know this is my handle, so I'm gonna start at my handle, and you have to decide which way you want your blade to go. So if you want it to be the flat end on this side, then you start on this side. And if you want it to be pointy on this side, you start on this side. So for me, I want it to be flat here and pointy here. So there's a little curve there that I'm going to use. So what you do, you find a stump or something, and you take your hatchet and you use little hits to slowly wear it down. So I'm going to keep doing this until it's flat down to like here on this side, and then I'm going to start on the other side until it's like that, and then once it's like that, or then once it's flat on both sides, I'm going to start angling it towards here, so like that. Be careful when you're doing this not to cut yourself, and yeah, so I'll have a fast video of me doing this. So this is what my sword looks like so far. It's got, so this is the back. It's still not very smooth, but then you might have been able to see that I was kind of angling it towards this side, so this side is quite a bit thinner. So now you have to just keep doing it until it's at the right thinness for you. And then if you need to, you can also do a little bit on the handle to, like all the way around the handle to make it smaller if it doesn't fit your hand right. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing some more. Oh, and also make sure you're doing it in a spot where it's okay to get a bunch of wood chips, because you're definitely gonna get a bunch. Okay, so here's what it looks like right now. Pretty thin on this side, decent thickness on this side. Had a little mess up here, but I'm gonna try and smooth it out and make it just look cool, like it's part of the sword. So yeah, the next step for me is gonna be using my knife and the hatchet to kind of smooth it out. So here we go. So you can sharpen the edge, and you can, so yeah, you can sharpen the edge, and you can make a little thing at the top if you want, make a curve. So I'm gonna make a curve for now. This is what the tip of my sword is going to look like. And now I'm just going to sharpen the edges. So this is my sword so far. It's pretty much done. Now, the next step is optional, and it's the last step, so you could just leave it like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my knife and some sandpaper to smooth it all out. Here we go. Alright, so here we go. I might not actually need to use my knife. It's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do is just do a little bit on the blade and completely smooth out the handle. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell the difference. There's this side that's I just sanded, then there's this side. Alright, now what I like to do for the handle is just put it in the palm of my hand and put it around the handle and just sort of go like this. Except maybe you have to do that once it's already sanded because it's the little pieces of wood sticking out are keeping it from turning right. Alright, so I think the sword is done. Compare it to my other sword, and so about the same size. This one's a little bigger in the thing in both ways, but well, this one's a little taller, and this one's a little shorter, but it's bigger around the middle. So please watch the next video and like and subscribe.